My twins, it was a bundle of joy when we got to realize that I am having twins. It was a beautiful bundle of joy with my husband. It is still that we still have that joy until today. And here, my bundle of joy came into the world, and everything went normal.
Wow.
Until we started noticing a few things that at a certain age of a normal child, my kids were not doing. For example, they were not sitting. They were not crawling, but they were very hyper. They would cry.
Okay.
Like they could not sleep. If I'm talking about not sleeping, they would not sleep they would sleep only for about 2 hours, day and night.
For 24 hours?
For 24 hours. The rest of the moment is crying.
Season greetings to everybody. Welcome to yet another episode on Life in Focus. My name is Miss Noni. Today we have an amazing guest in studio. A guest who will inspire us all, who will teach us, and who's going to change our minds on a topic that we've been talking about. And I'm sure that when I introduce the topic, most of us have an idea of what we'll be discussing about. But today we're not going into the science and all that. We are talking about her experience, and maybe from her experience, maybe you know somebody or you yourself will be inspired to change something about your lifestyle or somebody else's lifestyle. Today we are talking about autism and how her experience raising two twin sons who have been living with autism or on the autism spectrum has changed her life and taught her about life. So before we continue, I want to define what autism means so that we can all be on the same page and understand what we're talking about today. Autism is a neurodevelopmental condition that affects how a person communicates, interacts socially, and experiences the world. To note, autism is not it's not a one thing, it's a spectrum. It is a 60 spectrum thing, and different people can be on different spectrums. So we do not put people on a box or in a box and define them by just what we see. We need to go to the doctor and have them diagnosed. Karibu sana ndani ya studio.
Thank you.
So today we're not going to go into the medical bit of autism and everything and all that. We're going to, if possible, we're going to have a doctor who can explain everything about it. Today we want to talk about your experience.
Okay.
From birth to now, 17 years down the line.
Yes.
Everything. That's what we want to know.
All right.
So I want to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself,
Okay.
so we can get into the story.
All right. My name's Nadia Hassan. Yes, I am a mother of three, a 31-year-old and a 17-year-old are my twin, Abby and Tariq.
Wow.
Yes.
So you have been a mother before.
Yes.
Before you got the twins, you
Yes.
were a mother for almost, I think, 14 years.
Yes, actually that's the difference.
So I understand that you raising that child and now getting to raise these two.
Yes.
There are a lot of expectations that you are having because you're like, okay, he started working at 2.
Yes.
He started eating, so you expect the other kids to do the same.
Yes.
So tell us about the journey that you experienced with the twins.
Okay, my twins, it was a bundle of joy when we got to realize that I am having twins. It was a beautiful bundle of joy with my husband. It is still that we still have that joy until today. Delivery was a normal birth, a decision that I made the last moment.
Yeah.
Actually, the last minute on my labor, I changed it because it was actually advised that I'm going for a cesarean. And I think I just panicked and said I have the energy to push. Because I had been exercising before delivery, so I knew I had the strength and I'll manage to do this. And here, my bundle of joy came into the world and everything went normal.
Wow.
Until we started noticing a few things that at a certain age of a normal child, my kids were not doing. For example, they were not sitting. They were not crawling, but they were very hyper.
Ah.
From 3 months. Now, hyper from 3 months, you might be wondering, what do you mean hyper?
Uh-huh.
They would cry.
Okay.
Like, they could not sleep. If I'm talking about not sleeping, they would not sleep for... They would sleep only for about 2 hours, day and night.
For 24 hours?
For 24 hours. The rest of the moment is crying. And we used to actually question, me and my partner, and we used to question and tell myself, what's happened? Something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Something is wrong. We had daily, like, not daily, but most of the times we had so many visits in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor would prescribe, yes, we have bacterial infection, viral infection, get medication,
Mm-hmm.
get back home, and
sleep for a day
sleep for a day, and we're going back to the same thing. And no, something is wrong. I would feel it.
Mm-hmm.
But my husband would always tell me, we have gone to the hospital.
Yeah.
You cannot be better than the doctor. We just have to wait and see if the medicine is going to work.
Mm-hmm.
So this went on until 4 years.
So for 4 years, they're operating on 2 hours of sleep daily.
Daily.
Wow.
Daily. And something, just a mother's instinct.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew something is wrong. I don't know what it is, but something is wrong. But you don't want to keep on beating yourself with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to always tell yourself, this thing isn't going to go anyway.
Yeah.
The kids.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a discomfort or something. The kids, they'll get to sleep.
They're allowed to grow it.
So it reached a point whereby they need to start to go to school. And here I am, you know the normal procedure.
Yeah.
You go to school and the principal or the teacher tells you, we need to interview the children, and we'll call you.
Oh.
After lunch, you come and pick up your children. Oh my, I reach in the office, and just as I'm laying my bag down, I get a call from the school. Hello, I'm so sorry, Mama Abby, we can't handle the kids.
Let me go back here.
Yes.
Before we continue with the schooling. At what age did they start conversing? Because before we started the conversation, you told me that they took a long time to actually even respond to you calling them.
Let's say about 5-6 years.
Wow, that's when they started now conversing.
Conversing, I mean them even saying the word ma, ba.
Wow. So it's not a whole
It wasn't a sentence.
It's more of a...
Sentences, constructing sentences came much later.
Wow.
Much later. Let's talk about the age of 8 or 7 years, they could construct a broken sentence.
That typically when you look at another child, like the neurotypical child,
yeah,
that happened at around 1 year, 2 years.
Yes.
So they're speaking that way when they are around 7 years.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you go to a hospital to get that checked, or what did you do?
I did, and the doctor just told me it's just a delay. They'll get there. It's just a delay.
Okay.
Yeah. Then when we started going to school, but by the time they were that age of 7-6, I'd already been advised about the problem. So, as I told you, we were going for those interviews in schools. That happened to 12 nursery schools. They were being rejected. But remember, their teacher also don't know, and we also don't know.
Yeah.
So the last school I remember I just broke down, and the teacher told me, it's not the end of the world. You won't get some good news, but I would advise you to go to a certain institution and just tell them to check on the kid. I enter in that institution and I look at the other children and I'm like, hell no. No.
These are not my kids.
This is not where my children are supposed to be. Denial is the first thing that hits you.
I know.
And sitting there with the specialists is the first time I heard about autism. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? No. My kids are okay. They're just children. And she has seen a lot of parents like that. So she gave me the time to
come to terms
with it, of which was not easy. That took me about 3 months.
Wow.
I think I was crying day and night. I just fell into depression and locked myself wherever it is.
Oh.
It is not easy as a parent. That's one thing I can tell you. Something that gets into the parent is also the stigma out there that will make you fall into that depression double times that you have experienced. So, yes, and I think one time I just looked at my children and I told myself, if I'm not going to accept it, I don't expect anybody else to accept it. And they need me.
Mm.
So I went back to the school and they told me it's not going to be easy. They gave me the journey how to get, I didn't even know that children do have a psychologist.
Yeah.
So we started the journey there.
Uh-huh.
And getting now to this psychologist who spells it out to you without baby spooning you,
Yeah.
tells you exactly what you are looking to in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember leaving that office and telling the psychologist, you ain't God. You're not telling me what my children can do. You're only telling me what they can't do.
Mm.
But I think God has an answer for me. I walked out with my children and I started my journey of learning my children.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed to accept this. It just doesn't come to you at once that I have accepted they are autistic. It comes to you gradually. And the first step I had to do is to go to my gated community where I stay and go house to house in 99 houses and explain to them about my children's condition. Reason being, I am not going to lock my children.
Oh, they're going to be out
If
here
they do
playing
not,
with other children.
if the world does not understand my children, I mean, if they don't understand the world, I will teach the world
How to understand them.
how to understand them.
Wow, that's really powerful.
Yes.
What was the experience when you're knocking onto these doors?
Some of them would just look at you like, what the hell are you talking about? As I told you, autism was not something that people would relate to at that time.
Yeah.
And some had questions. Some were a bit also on denial. If your kid just comes into the house, maybe damages something, or... And I told them, I'm very sorry if that will happen.
Mm-hmm.
They will come to learn that it's not good to enter into people's houses. But at this time, please, if you just bump into them on the road, because I had a lot in store. As I told you, when I accepted, I told myself, they are going to cycle, they are going to learn how to run, they are going to know how to relate to the world out there.
Mm-hmm.
And among the things that the psychologist told me is that they don't have a grip. Their motor skills are very weak.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to work on that
Mm-hmm.
as the beginning, because definitely the first thing as a human being is touch.
Yeah.
So when they started learning that, they would want to touch everything.
Yeah, there's the
There's
pleasure that
urge
comes
of
with that.
touching everything.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, fast forward, we went to neighbors, and I told them, my neighbors, that they're very touchy. So this is my number, just in case if they come into your house. Remember, I'm on duty, I have to work. If they come to your house and if you feel they are uncomfortable, please dial, or because there will be somebody who will definitely be with them as they take the walk in the estate.
Yeah.
But just in case, because they're two, one might be running east and the other one might be west.
And they're identical.
And they're identical. You wouldn't know who is dealing with who. Just dial my number so that I would know. I talked also to the Ascari's company, and they had known, they had an unaware about my children's condition. So my surrounding was aware. That is part of the acceptance
The
that I had to do.
community embraced you. And
Yes,
were ready to help
as I
you.
said, some.
Yes. Some were scared.
Some were scared.
I think it's the lack of information
Yes.
that triggered that.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But you have no idea how many people still stay at the point that they do not accept their children being autistic or have a special need.
Do you think it's the misinformation that we have? Because as a community, there are things that we have associated. If you do not look textbook normal,
Yes.
we don't want to associate with you because
Yes.
you are labeled as difficult or you need
Exactly.
extra help.
Exactly. First and foremost, the stigma. The stigma out there is killing.
Yeah.
Especially at that time. Today, we have a different idea, but the stigma at that time was... Because you can imagine, you're in a market, you're in a mall,
Yeah.
and your child decides it's time to scream. The child will scream.
Exactly.
and it won't scream
and eyes will be on you.
Yes, eyes
from
will be
everywhere.
all over, and
The expectation that you should shush the
exactly.
child.
I can give you an example. I went to one of the major supermarkets. Sorry, I'm not going to say it right now. I don't know if it's okay, but it's closed right now.
Yeah.
And a manager of the supermarket said this to somebody, and I was there listening. I think either they thought that I wasn't listening or something. And said, watoto kama hawa huwa kwetu huwa tunawafungianga.
Wow.
I almost killed him. I almost jumped on him. But then I told myself, no.
Wow.
That is his mindset. You cannot pull him into your mindset. The education that was being talked to about autism at that time was very poor.
Yeah.
So people did not know. So anyway, the stigma out there is number one.
Yeah.
The expense is another thing.
Yeah.
A special needy school for our type of children is not cheap. Yes, we do have public institution, but as I said, it is not cheap.
Yeah.
Handling a special child is not cheap. We have diets that you have to follow. And trust me, for your special child to make a step forward, must attend a special school. Must. Or attend a therapist session. Either one of the two.
And here you have two of them.
And here I have two.
double the expense.
Double the expense.
Wow.
But when you accept it, and you accept that I need to make a step forward for them, that type of education just comes into you somewhere down the road.
Wow.
So like, for example, anytime that I used to pick them up from the special school, we've gone so forward. So I went to the special school, I went to the psychologist, told the psychologist, God, they're going to do everything.
You're not going to tell me what my children cannot do.
But I told myself, I will make something out of my kids that will give a different mindset to the psychologist. And in 1 year, my kids wrote him a Christmas card.
Wow.
Yes.
A child who couldn't
could not even touch a paper
is now writing.
Wrote Merry Christmas.
Wow, that's so adorable.
And he could not believe it. The doctor told me impossible. I said, actually, I knew you were not. So they're just outside at the reception and they're here to sign it up for you again.
Wow, I do have a question. I know I'll be taking you back. The communication, because you said that they didn't converse with anybody else up to when they were around 7.
Yes.
No, how were the two of them communicating and relating to each other?
By the way, until now, their communication is not fluent.
Oh.
It is not something, because as I said, the consistency and the patience that you have to have has to be from within.
Okay.
So, but they would understand. They would talk to you something that you would understand, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
The knowledge is very important. I did not sit on it.
Okay.
I didn't, most of us are too overwhelmed with either what you're doing or your daily to day business. But trust me, you as a parent is the best teacher to your children. Even if you have that therapist there, you as a parent, they look at you as the best teacher. I used to read storybooks to them even if they would not understand.
Yeah.
And I did it for about 3 years. And my husband would always tell me, do you really think they're listening? I'm like, I'd have a feeling they would. They do.
Yeah.
And even in those 3 years, I would let them read 2 words in the sentence. And sometimes it took them a long time to finish a page, but they would understand because I would lock the book and I would tell them, who is this in the story? Not what is the story about. Who is this in the story? And for them just to tell me that he was the man in the story. That's enough.
They grasp something.
Yeah.
That's really amazing.
That's enough.
Wow.
That's enough.
No, I know we are at a point
so back to, sorry to interrupt. So back to them talking. You have, for example, if you are deciding that you want to teach them the color green, you don't jump into color red the next day. You might stay in color green for the whole month.
But it needs to be constant.
Yes, because once it gets into them, that's okay.
Okay.
It doesn't jump out. But you need to be very constant with them. Don't back down. That is the most important thing to them, for them to progress in learning. Yes.
Now, question is, how about them, the two of them? How is their communication? Not with anybody else, just the two of them. How do they converse?
They love each other. They love each other. They do. By the way, I think they do understand they have a problem, and they think like the best is to be with each other.
They complete each other.
The best move I've ever done, I know this will shock so many, but is to take them to a public school.
Wow.
Yes. They have sat for their national exam, 3 national examinations. Yes.
Wow.
And now we are going to our junior secondary examination.
Wow.
I did not, the thing is, I'm not trying to put special schools down, but once you see your child progressing, don't leave them to stay where they are. They will be dominant there.
Okay.
But graduate with them. Get to a special school whereby your child, integrate them into another school whereby the teachers will learn your children. Same way as I entered into each and everybody's doorstep in my community, is the same way. I just stepped into a school, and at that time I had been fired from work because I was all the time with my children.
Yeah.
I could not afford the special school that was there, and I just bumped into somebody who just told me they cannot stay at home, and by the way, they were not talking, but today you listen to my kids, the most amazing comment that I get is that these kids are not from here, they must be from Europe or something.
Ooh.
I'm like, what? If you only knew the journey that we have been to. They have proper English.
Wow.
They wouldn't construct a whole sentence properly. It's very hard for you to understand, but when they talk very fast, and they talk it with a twang. And I said, look at God's miracle. These are children who are not talking.
Now listen to them.
Now listen to them.
That's really amazing.
Yes.
So,
yes.
wow. How was I want to get to understand the initial stages, because you've taken them out of a special school.
Yes.
Now they're in a school where they're integrated with the normal kids in course.
Public, whereby there are more than 900 kids.
Wow. How was the experience for them?
Hard.
Ooh.
Hard. But thank God, in that school, there was a session of special needy children for parents who could not afford a private special school.
Okay.
So it wasn't easy, but I had the special teacher who told me, I need you to do me a favor. Leave the kids and don't look back.
Wow.
This is something that I've never done. I'm like,
you're always there.
I'm always there. Even in the special school that I used to take them,
your phone is on speed dial.
I was even having a camera that I could view what is happening. So here comes somebody who tells me, it will reach a time they will be alone in this world. You will not be there.
Yeah, they need to learn.
It starts now. They need to learn.
Wow. How was that
journey been? It was hard. It was hard because sometimes they come home, they're bullied.
Oh.
But not bullied in a bad way.
Yeah.
The kids do not understand them.
Oh.
So what do? I held meetings with the teacher. I had meetings with the school. I am there during parade talking about autistic children.
Wow.
And I catch up with other mothers who have their autistic children there. And I tell the children about our children. They just need some love. Just some love. It is okay to poke him and try and make something naughty, wake him up a little bit, but just don't be violent. And trust me, the school they are in today is one of the schools I hold most dearly in my heart, and that's Kasandani Primary.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
they have walked this journey with me from grade 4 to grade 8 today.
4 years.
4 years.
That's really amazing.
Yes.
I love the fact that you've been constant and very true to your word.
Yes.
That if the world won't receive your children, you're going to teach them.
If my children do not understand the world,
you're going to teach the world.
Yes, I'm going to teach the world about my children, and that is what I'm doing.
Wow, that's really amazing.
Yes.
Now, moving forward, they're teenagers now.
Yes.
How has that journey been? Because I understand teenagehood and
especially female teenagers is something else. Male is another thing. So most of the parents that I get who have teenagers who are have girls, they also tell me like, "Hey, Gloria, but ours, they're girls. Boys also have their own."
Yeah.
But you move with it. There are some changes that happen in their body, and you talk to them about it.
Okay.
Yeah, they wouldn't. My boys don't like that topic, especially. I think they look at me as a woman, and they're like, "Hey, mom, stop,
stop it."
But you have to.
Yeah,
you have to. Yeah.
Now, question is, because I am looking at the different stories that I've seen online.
Yes.
Such a diagnosis breaks families. It
Yeah.
pushes away even relatives.
Yes.
People are going to literally blacklist you from events.
Yes.
Because they do not want to deal with your children. And you're here
very
confidently telling the world that I'm not going to hide my children.
Yes.
I'm coming with them to wherever event I'm going to. How has that been for you?
Trust me, it's not something that is new. I've gone to events whereby I've been welcomed by friends, or I've been welcomed by some people, and they tell me, "Please don't come with the kids."
Oh,
yeah. So I don't go. I don't even explain it to you, because I tell myself that is the first image that you had in your head, that my kid is either coming to be a troubled in your event, or you wouldn't accept my child being there. So yeah, I don't go there. But another thing is that most events, I always tell myself, the most problem that we have is not explaining to somebody about the condition of your child. Always explain the condition about your child.
Teach the world.
Teach the world. Teach in whatever way you can. In whatever possible way you can. Don't ignore that or assume that they will understand. Do not have pity to your children, number one. Have tough love. That's the advice I can give parents. Don't have pity. There's some times whereby you feel like kuna watu wanawaonea, or no.
Let them face the world.
Let them face the world.
Wow. And
have tough love on them.
All right. Now we're going to go on a very short break. When we come back, we're going to continue this conversation.
All right. Okay.
This has been one very amazing story, and I know my people watching are also excited to hear more about the story. So as we take this break, go on our social media platforms, give us a follow, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get updates of this and so many other stories that we post right there.
Kila siku wananchi wa Pwani na Kenya kwa jumla kupambana na changamoto ambazo haziwezi kufichwa na siasa. Barabara hizi, wananchi hawa na maisha kila siku yanaamuliwa na wachache waliokalia viti vya mamlaka. Lakini je, viongozi wetu wanatimiza kweli ahadi zao? Wananchi wanasema nini? Na ni nani anafaa kuwajibika pale ahadi zinapokosa kutekelezwa? Pwani nzima na Kenya kwa jumla inahitaji majibu. Ni wakati wa kuweka viongozi kwenye mizani ya ukweli. Tunachambua, tunahoji na tunawajibisha. Mimi ni David Otieno. Ungana nami kwenye The Power Seat. Kipindi kinachohoji viongozi bila uoga na kuwasilisha maswali yako moja kwa moja.
Welcome back to the second segment of our story today. Today we were talking to Nadia. Nadia is telling us about her journey raising autistic kids or kids living in the autistic spectrum. We've talked about the wins, we've talked about the struggles, and we've talked about the surprises that she got during her journey. Now, there is a statement that we talked about. She talked about her introducing her kids to the world. When she learned that her kids were autistic, she decided that she's going to go around the estate, 99 houses, talking about the condition and the experiences and what her kids are all about, because she wanted the world to be aware, to learn everything about her kids. But she had got a surprise when she went there. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Tell us about the surprise you got when you were visiting these 99 houses.
Yes, so here I am going to introduce my children, because you cannot definitely go to 99 houses at the same time. So this took me like a week or so. But then I realized in some houses, there are children who are having special conditions who are locked in. Like these parents have not accepted them.
Wow.
Yeah, who are locked in. And later on, it really felt bad, because I could see this child stuck in this chair from morning till evening and has a potential.
Wow.
And later I just approached the parents and said, listen, if you don't have time, can I just come and take your child and take a walk, at least in the estate?
That's so
and amazing. I remember one woman telling me, I would just to shake away. You have two already.
I would just to shake.
You have two. You want me to give you mine? I'm like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But imagine through this, I touched this woman. And this woman, even if she could not walk around with their child, had somebody to walk with their child at least 3 times in a week on the estate. And I used to bump into this special child every single evening, and I would just run and give her a hug.
Oh.
And she became better. All of a sudden, the child started going to school.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I've left the estate, so I'd really want to know what's happening.
I think you should visit the child.
Yes.
Wow, that's really amazing.
But for me, just to know that I inspired one parent to do the same is something. It's something lovely. Yes.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yes.
Now, I know you have raised a child who's I hate using the word normal.
Yes.
Because we are all normal in our different ways.
Yes.
But you've raised a child who's not autistic.
Yes.
And now here you are raising 2 kids that are autistic.
Yes.
Can you please mention the differences that you saw, apart from the ones that you've talked about, the delay in movement, the delay in verbal communication, all those. What were other things that you noticed as a difference? Because I know there's a parent who's seeing those things right now.
Yes.
And they're now questioning whether their children are autistic or not.
The hyperactivity.
So they're always on the move.
They're always on the move. Even if they're not on the move, even if they've not reached a point whereby they're walking or talking. But you just find out that the crying is uncontrollably there.
Okay.
Then it reaches a point they start having some movement. But it's not normal. For example, my kids used to hit their heads on the wall.
Oh.
So you can imagine going to the mall and you have your children wearing helmets.
Ooh.
So, people look at you like, okay.
You were that bird.
Even if they have motorcycles out there in the mall, why are they not taking out their helmets or something? But to me, if I see you looking in a strange way, I would just approach you and say, you want to know something?
Oh, do you have a question?
Do you have a question?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That takes a lot
but
of
trust
confidence.
me, it didn't come that easy. Yeah, I was a boxer in between. Before that, for me to accept in this way, I could see you just looking at my kids in a strange way, and I'm just on you in another level. But yeah, for the acceptance to happen, there's a really big change in you.
Yeah.
But remember, you're 2. There's you and there's your partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was the acceptance on his side?
It's not fully there, I should say.
To date.
To date. It's not. It's there, but it's not fully there.
Okay.
I sometimes I tell myself, okay, Gloria, do you think that he's supposed to accept it the way you have accepted it, or is it that you're just not satisfied? The same way you gradually came to accept yours is not the same way you expect him.
Yeah.
The acceptance can happen even in 20 years, especially with men.
Wow.
That's why you get most men are not, most of the females, the mothers will tell you that I'm single. Because that patience was only for the children. You didn't have that time for him, and he felt left out. And maybe that is not also the only reason. He did not accept the condition of the children and decided, no, I can't take it, and decided to move on.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Because the number of cases I've had of women who've been left by their husbands after such a diagnosis is quite alarming.
Yes. But how do you make him accept it? Give him a progress.
Ah.
Yes. Even if he is not asked. You know what, Baba Nani, yes, today he learned color green.
Oh.
Right now, pick up a leaf and tell him, just do me a favor, could you just go and ask him
So
what color this is?
him.
Yeah, involve him. That's actually the word, involve him. So slowly by slowly that acceptance comes in.
Wow.
With that involvement. Yes.
Okay, that's amazing, and I love
Yes.
that advice, because a lot of women, we tend to naturally after we give birth, our attention goes to our
To
kids.
the children. Yes.
Now here you are with kids who need extra attention.
Yes.
That means that you have a deficit in every other relationship
Exactly.
that you have.
Exactly.
Okay, that's
Yes.
really amazing.
Yes.
Now, to our viewers out there, I want to make three things very clear. Autism is not caused by vaccines,
Yes.
which has been a myth that has been going around. It is not caused by bad parenting. You see a child screaming out there, you hear they're autistic. It is not bad parenting, and it is not a disease. It's a condition.
It's a condition.
It's a condition. So those are things that my viewers need to understand, because most of the time when they see that, they're like, mpeleke hospitali.
Yeah.
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 Mchape nyamaze. So it's not about what you're doing. It's something that these children are living with.
True.
That's amazing. Now, when you think about your general circle, because you do have your support system, your family,
Yes.
your in-laws. How
Yes.
was the acceptance on that end?
I have a very loving sister who we are with together in Mombasa. That is like the closest family that I have
Okay.
at the moment. My sister is very supportive. Yeah. My children, in the beginning, learning about family was kind of hard. So you have to build a family tree. I'm back to acceptance. Acceptance has baby steps that you have to enter into your autistic child's head. Because hailewi. So like in a wall, we have a family tree. Yeah. And he knows that that is my granddad. My granddad gave birth to this and this and this.
Oh.
So that's how they know family members. One of my son is an introvert. Totally. He just knows I have my mother, and that's it. He doesn't even think that there's daddy. If daddy comes, okay, fine, but there's mom.
Mother, yeah.
Mom and my brother. That's it. Be in their world. As I said in the beginning, family, yes, will help you wherever they can.
Yeah.
Yeah. For them to accept, you cannot be inside them to understand.
Yeah.
They will just come and tell you, oh yeah, okay, fine, wanaendelea vizuri, and all that. Appreciate it to that point. I go back and tell myself, so long as my children are comfortable with you, that is fine. I will only tell you what you need to understand about them. I will not force you to indulge yourself in their lives. Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Now,
Yeah.
we've heard a lot about Tariq and Abby.
Yes.
Now, for you, because you are, when the first time I saw you, you do not look like the typical mom who's, who's a parent to a special needs child.
Yes.
I'm sorry to say this, but they tend to forget themselves. But you are very well kept, and you look like somebody who loved themselves.
Yes.
And that is also something that I want to delve into, because I want you to talk to moms out there.
All right.
Even moms with kids but they've forgotten how to love themselves and take care of themselves.
Yes. 10 years ago, I didn't look the same. I was in depression, was eating me left, right, and center. I looked terrible. I looked terrible. Loving yourself is the first thing you need to do in your journey of acceptance. I'm in my 50s already.
Okay,
and
after this, please leave us with that, with the serum, with whatever you've been using.
And I exercise a lot. I look at what I'm eating, because in the journey of an autistic child, diet is very important. So that is one thing that you get to learn in this journey. So you get to learn how to eat healthy and how to feed your children healthy.
Okay.
You do not get to feel good when you look at yourself in the mirror and cannot relate what you're seeing. So the first thing is that you need to feel good about yourself. You need that energy to make them feel good. I involve my children in most of my exercise. I'm a very big walker in Mombasa, yeah, and I involve them. So at the end of the day, or at the end of the week, because most of the time they're in school, at the end of the day or on the weekends, we do a lot of walking together. And exercise is one of the things that have just made me be the person that I am today.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Because mentally I need it. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, when you are, I'm thinking back to the 12 schools that rejected you, and I'm thinking, for a teacher to reject a child, it means that maybe they are scared of what they've seen, or they do not have any idea on how to handle a child like that. Now, I want you to talk to a teacher right now who's in a situation like the teacher you faced back then.
Yes.
How would you tell them to handle you at this point?
I was very bitter with the schools in the beginning.
Yeah.
But then I realized at that time there was not a good knowledge about autism.
Yeah.
Today, I really embrace the system that we have right now.
Okay.
Because most of it is practical that they do.
Yeah.
And most schools, as we talk today, do have children who can integrate into normal schools.
Yeah.
As we talk right now. For the schools and the teachers who cannot handle an autistic child, please don't turn them down. If you do have a way that you can advise the parent to go to a second place, or a place that they need help, please try and sit down with the parent, or educate the parent where they can get help instead of turning them down. This really breaks them down.
Yeah.
It really, really breaks a person down. Yeah.
And that we need a lot of grace and a lot of love.
Yes.
To even embrace and accept.
Yes.
And even help.
Yes.
Such a child.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to career, you said a statement that was that hit me, because I know a lot of people are experiencing that. You get fired because you are constantly worrying about your child.
Yes.
You're constantly leaving work because of that. Now, how did you handle that? Because I understand it's not an easy thing. You have bills to pay.
Yeah.
You have school to pay. As you said, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
How was that? Were you angry at your employer, or what was the experience?
Of course you'll be angry. Of course you'll be very, very angry.
How did you handle
because
that? And
most
how
of
did
them
you
don't
survive
even
it?
tell you the reason is because you are spending a lot of time at home with your children, or your mindset is not concentrated into work or something like that. People will just tell you, or your employer will just tell you you're not productive enough, so we need to let you go. Believe me, at this point, I do understand the employer.
Oh.
At this point I do, because they need also their business to go on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as I said, if you do not sit down and talk about what is happening,
Yeah.
how do you expect the employer to know?
Oh. So be open with it.
Be open with it.
Wow.
And that is part of acceptance.
I think acceptance is a very broad topic.
It's
isn't
a
it?
very, very broad topic.
Well, the next question is it's something that I want you to think about. It's more of, when you look at your children right now, what do you see that you didn't see when they were, the first time you had the diagnosis, and now you look at them? What do you see? What is the difference between what you see?
What do I see? In the beginning, I think I did not see the capability that they have today. I think I was accepting with the doctor, because it reached a point whereby I wasn't patient enough.
Yeah.
I could not see this. I remember going back to the special school and saying, I'm paying a lot of money. Why am I not seeing this happening?
There are no results.
There are no results in this.
They're not fast enough.
They're not fast enough. And you hear this all the time, and they say, you need that patience, Mama. It doesn't work out overnight. You need to be patient.
Okay.
Today, I am patient to the point whereby if they come in with a composition, yes, they do write compositions. If they come in with a composition and the composition is 2 or 1 paragraph, trust me, I'm over the moon.
Oh,
at 17.
Yeah.
At 17. I remember when they were doing their grade 4 examination, I was with the teacher and I was like, do you think maybe we should register them as a special need issue? And the teacher was like, what are you talking about? What's special here? They're doing the exam as other children. And they sat the exam like any other child in the whole of Kenya.
Wow.
And I was so happy. I was so happy when I got the result and I said, Lord, thank you. I never knew this was going to happen. Here comes grade 6, and they did it.
Wow.
And at 17, them being in grade 8, they're a bit older, but it's okay.
It's okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine, yes.
What are your dreams for them?
To be independent. I think I'm still baby. I think my main, and we're getting there, trust me. Because as I talk to you today, they come out from school, they know I need to wash my uniform. I need to make my bed. Even though mommy is there, I will look at that bed and I will be like, no, he'll come from school and he'll make his bed. They've started cooking. They know how to make breakfast.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I am at the journey of telling myself, okay, next year they'll be having their ID. Mommy has to start backing out a little bit.
I don't think it's a little bit. You have to make very big steps.
Yes. Yes.
That's amazing. I love your story. It's really inspiring, So
thank you.
So I know a lot of people will watch you, especially people who are probably at some point of your journey.
Yes.
And they're going to learn a lot.
I hope so too.
What would you say is the goal? When somebody listens to this interview, what would you want them to take home? That carry on point that you want them to forever hold.
Don't give up on your child.
Don't give up on your child.
Don't give up on your child.
Wow.
Even if you see the results are not working, the results might come out after a decade. Don't give up on your child.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, those are the words of Nadia. Do not give up on your child.
Yeah.
Results might come after a decade.
Yes.
Wow.
And the second one is, please, your child does not understand the world. So make the world understand your child.
Get out and scream.
Yes.
The loudest.
Yes.
Let them understand.
Exactly.
Wow. I hope that they got to hear that. Now, how can people reach you? Because I know people will be very curious to understand a few things about maybe where they should take their children to get diagnosed, or the schools that, all that. How can they reach you?
Okay. You can reach me on my number. 0724 566 767.
Please repeat.
0724 566 767.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, before we close this, every child has their strengths.
Yes.
Every child has that thing that they do so uniquely. Among your children, the two of them, what would you say are the strengths that you witnessed that still amaze you to date?
Computers and the phone. You can bisect your phone right now. You can totally separate all parts of your phone, and my kids will assemble it all together.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, we have technical geniuses right there.
Yes.
Oh, that's
yes.
amazing. That's amazing. And I hope that we get to see that in future.
Amen.
And
yes.
we hope that we even get to meet them one day,
yes,
and experience
sure.
the geniusness.
Sure. I think they will be so amazed with all this. They ask a lot of questions, by the way, especially Abby. Because I've taught him that whatever you don't know, ask. So we can even walk around the street and he will stop a policeman and tell the policeman, excuse me, your cape is not the right position. Please.
That's triggering for some policemen.
So I can imagine bringing him in the studio. He will be like, what is this flashlight doing on my face? So he will ask a lot of questions before you even start. But I know this would be very amazing for him.
Wow, that would be amazing.
Yes,
Continue
yes.
nurturing them. Continue
Amen.
supporting them in their talents.
I will.
Do not give up.
Thank you.
Don't give up on yourself.
Thank you.
And depression should never visit you
Oh,
again.
no, it's not coming back.
Thank you. My name is Miss Nani. We had Nadia in studio today. We talked about our journey. We talked about Abby and Tariq. Very amazing kids doing amazing things. All the best in their academics. And we hope that we get to hear more about their amazing successes.
Thank you. I just hope I've inspired somebody out there.
Yeah, and I hope that we will have more women now, and more moms who will let their children go out now.
Yes.
Thank you so much to our viewers. Remember to follow us on all our social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. We are Life in Focus. My name is Miss Nani. Until next time, remember to stay hydrated. It's very hot in Mombasa, by the way. All right.